Today, I want to talk about toxic positivity. And when it comes to toxic positivity, please remember that we all have some of it in us.
Children are great by their very nature, and we have the privilege and responsibility of raising them. It can be challenging at times. Let's talk about it.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Armstrong. I'm a general and a special education teacher. I homeschooled my own children for 5 years, and I talk about those things that I've studied, I've applied, I've learned, and have benefited me and my children and my students, and I want to share with you. And today, I want to talk about toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is not something people are usually aware that they have. And I say that because we all have it at some times and in some places. Uh, and when we say, oh, they have toxic positivity, we're probably talking about people who live in it, at a more length of time, that they live a greater portion of their life there. But we all move in and out of toxic positivity at times. So let's talk about just positivity first so that we can see, okay, this is positivity and this is when it becomes toxic. And again, this is me and my experiences and my thoughts. I would love to hear yours. So positivity is uh, a thinking that looks for the best in things, right? We're looking for those things that bring joy, that bring happiness, that bring understanding, and we make choices to look at something a particular way. Right. So if we choose to look at something a particular way, that requires us to choose. So we're going to look at, well, I could feel angry and upset, and I could choose to feel that way. I mean, I can sit here in these emotions, and I'm going to experience these emotions. And then I'm going to choose, are these the ones I want to keep? Or I can look at what's another way? How would I rather feel about this situation? And then we can turn our thoughts to the positive. Okay, so here is, in my opinion, when it becomes toxic. We take a look at these feelings over here and we see, ooh, I could possibly feel that way, but I don't want to, and so I'm going to run away. And I'm not going to sit in that anger. I'm not going to sit in that grief. I'm not going to sit there for just a moment, acknowledge those feelings, learn from those feelings. I'm going to take a glance at them, be afraid of those emotions, and run away and say, oh, just kidding. I need to be positive. I need to be positive. I need to be positive. We're not really looking at the emotions, feeling the emotions, and choosing which one we want to hang on to. It's a toxic positivity is an avoidance of that. And it keeps us from seeing ourselves, right? It keeps us from being authentic with ourselves and with others. And it also doesn't give space for us to allow others their feelings or their emotions. So, and how does this relate to parenting, right? Children, they like to come to us with all kinds of feelings and all kinds of emotions. And we sometimes want them to change those emotions. Like right now, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, let's think about it in this positive way without first visiting their emotions that they're having. Not just, yeah, you're feeling that way, let's not. But, oh, let's take a look at that. What does that feel like? Is that something you want to keep in your life? What does that do when you keep that in your life? Right? And we might do, I don't know, I call it the Harry Potter effect. Here, just have some chocolate. You will feel better with some chocolate. Here, just go for a walk, or just watch a movie. Right? We could watch a movie to avoid our feelings. We can, I just really want to watch this movie right now. And we think, oh, let's really get into it. And we might want to watch a movie more than we really want to watch the movie, because it allows us to maybe touch on some emotions we're having, but not really acknowledge and learn from those emotions. So for me, that is where toxic positivity comes in. It's an avoidance and not a choice. Uh, it's uh, denying our authentic selves and what's really going on inside. And it's not looking into that for our children. And when I work with my clients and we're looking at some of their beliefs that they hold, uh, it's interesting. Some of them are very much related to their toxic positivity. They will take something, and it's very obvious to everyone around them, right? It's very obvious. And again, I have been there. There have been things that I was holding on to in that toxic positivity avoidance kind of way. And other people are looking at me and going, Cynthia, there's there's a little more to that, isn't there? But I'm sitting there going, life is great. Life is fine. This is how I see it. Uh, and I was being very, uh, you know, not just not authentic, but it was pretty much a bold faced lie. Like I might say, "Oh, I'm doing this because I'm independent." But really, I'm relying on my husband, I'm relying on my kids for certain things. And I was not being independent, but my positive thinking was putting it in that, oh no, I am. This is just how I choose to look at it. I'm just being positive. And I was like believing this pretty much outright lie. Like, well, what is independence, Cynthia? Am I really independent? But I felt independent because I was telling myself I was independent because I'm being positive. But really, I was relying on other people. And that created quite a bit of tension in that relationship with my husband and with my children, because my children um, are looking and they're seeing that it's not true, that I'm not being true, but my positivity would not let me see it, that toxic portion, because I wasn't going into my emotions and deciding, yes, I could choose this, and I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling it right now, and I could choose this. But does that serve me? Is that really what I want? And then it's not a covering up now. Now it's a choice, it's a decision. It's another way of looking at it and not a band-aid. So those are my thoughts on toxic positivity and how it might kind of come into our lives and show up in our lives. So go ahead, take a moment and comment. Let me know what you think about toxic positivity, or how you've seen it shown up in your life. And often, like I said, it's easier to see other people. We see it in other people, uh, and then take that and say, "Ooh, am I doing something similar? Now that I see it in others, can I see it in myself?" Because I think all of us do it at some point and at some time, and that it's not a bad thing. Like, oh my goodness, that's a bad person. We should avoid, right? We like to label things as good or bad and avoid, but just as information, am I being authentic? Is this really leading to what I want? Remember, children are great by their very natures, and we have that privilege and that responsibility of raising them.
Hi friends, Cynthia Armstrong here. Thanks for joining us today. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can see when new videos come out and like this one. It is such a responsibility and a challenge to raise great kids, and we are here to help you along that journey to make it as enjoyable and fun and fulfilling as possible. Please check out our website, www.raisinggreatkids.net, and I will leave that in the description below.